South Hobart. The top two sides of last year, South Hobart previously dominating Tasmanian football before Olympia came along and knocked them off their perch last season, and they have made some big signings in the off-season. I'm joined today not by Damien Gill as per usual. He's busy wearing a Flora vest and match managing, instead by Jacob Batt. Welcome, Jacob.
Yeah, thanks, Drewster. It's great to be here. Unfortunately, Gilly reckons he's a little bit too much of a big dog these days, and he's down the front where all the action is. But we're here in the stands with the fans and ready to bring the action to you tonight.
And we'll go through the team sheets. The Olympia lineup, one change to the side that defeated Taroona 5-0. In goal, Spiros Paradisus. At right back, Zachary Drake, who really looks like an impressive signing, the Canadian fullback. The centre-back pairing will be Nicholas Mearns and the captain, Jake Vandermeer. Mearns, of course, played central midfield all last year, but the arrival of Jacob Collard has shifted him into defence, of course. Ball-playing centre-halves all the rage these days, so Mearns probably a good man for that role, and was a defender in his youth days. The left-back spot will be Jacob Lehman, we think. He comes in for Joel Samet. As I mentioned, Collard will play in midfield. He'll be partnered by the stalwart that is Shea Hickey. And then the real exciting front four that really all the talk has been about pre-season. Borbor Sam's got to set the ball rolling. When he signed, he'll float about. He played at the left, he played centrally at times. Very interchangeable with Lawrence Sharuma and Warren Wadawu on the right. Gavin Hoy had an absolute belter of a game as a striker. Doesn't really have the build of a natural striker, but he had an absolute ripper of a game against Taroona. And Glenn McNeil saying that his ability to hold the ball up was why he played him there, Jake.
Oh, well, there you go. I missed that game, but I have seen the highlights, and very good highlights they were as well as they come out right now.
And we'll just quickly run you through the South team before we get underway. James Wilson in goals, big shoes to fill with Kane Pearce departing to the mainland, but a quality signing from up north. And there's been a bit of foxing going on this week about team selection. You'll get to a couple of names in a second in midfield. There is a bit of a feeling that Kobe Kemp might not play and Daniel Brown, but they are both taking their place in the starting lineup. So perhaps just a few mind games from the manager, Ken Morton, midweek. The back four will be largely as expected. Loic Farrell, the Frenchman, will line up at right back. Liam Quayle had a barnstorming game. He'll play at left back. He was really outstanding against Launceston City and had one of the greatest goal line clearances you will ever see. The central defensive pairing will be Matthew Lewis and Hugh Ludford. In midfield, as mentioned, Kobe Kemp is fit to play. He's huge for South Hobart, one of the best midfielders in the competition. He'll have to have a big game up against the likes of Collard and Hickey in there. It's going to be a fascinating battle. He'll be joined by Dan Brown, converted from centre-back to defensive midfield. He'll add some real steel to that defensive midfield spot. And Nick Mawson will probably play the 10 role, slightly more advanced the other two. Darcy Hall will probably play out on the right. With Braden Mann departing, it's now Alex Lazinski, Big Albie, who will lead the line centrally. And perhaps there's a feeling that he didn't really have the chemistry with Mann, and he might relish playing this lone striker role. Obviously, Braden Mann, such a great goal scorer, so he's going to be a loss. And the final man on the team sheet, Alfred Hess, who's had a barnstorming pre-season. He scored a sublime goal and is being tipped as the big improver. So, Jacob, how do you see this one going tonight?
Look, I think Olympia's probably going to be too strong. In saying that, though, South showed us in the Summer Cup that they are a team that's come here to play. You know, that they're disappointed about last season, obviously. Ken's had them working extremely hard in the pre-season and even before Christmas. So they're fit, they're ready. I'd be really interested to see how they go up against the signings that Olympia have been able to bring to Tasmania.
Yeah, big signings, as you mentioned. I feel like maybe that's just given a mental edge maybe to the South Hobart side. They've got a point to prove that maybe they didn't have last year. Some people dismissing them, saying, Olympia are just going to walk to the title now. They've got these big signings, and I think a very proud team, South Hobart, and that might just stir them up a bit. And perhaps there is the feeling that before they gel, these Olympia players, they haven't played a lot together, they might be a little more vulnerable than kind of later. As Borbor Sam, a very late arrival to the pitch, strides on now. A fair bit of swagger, this man. Will certainly be looking forward to seeing what he can bring to the pitch today. He's an excitement machine.
Well, we're swapping with Warren Wadawu, it looks to be now.
Yeah, Wadawu
is coming out to the right.
So it'll be interesting to see how we go here. Underway, Nick Morton immediately dispossessed by Gavin Hoy there.
Draw, by the way.
Let's see a draw. Longer to go. Olympia 3-2 in a cracker. I really hope it lives up to the billing. I think it's got potential to be an absolute thrill of a contest. Well, we're both picking goals, and I think that says a lot about the two lineups they've got there. Some real attacking talent on display. Certainly Olympia showed plenty of that last week as Hickey moves the ball forward, but straight to Ludford, who lobs it forward to the chest of Lazinski. Hickey again there to clean up, and he sends it out right to Warrenwood's Awu. Sharuma is cleaned up and goes down a little too easily according to the referee, who tells him to get up, and down the line goes Ferrell, and Mearns in no uncertain terms heads it out. And you've got to say a bit of an Olympia crowd here tonight, Jacob. Seem to have the edge in supporters here.
Oh, at least 3-1, if not 4-1 in favour of Olympia fans in the stands.
Comes in and it's again headed out by Mearns, and be interesting to see how he goes as a centre-back this season. Obviously Alex Holmes out long-term with injury and Collard arriving. As I touched on in the pre-game, the ball-playing centre-half, really a real feature of modern football, and something that undoubtedly McNeil's looking to cash in on as two South players collide there. Dogger Brown going straight through his teammate Kobe Kemp there. This one is set out in front of Bulbor Sam, and firing in there was Ferrell. They'll go back and stroke it around the back here, and here's Zachary Drake. He really impressed. He plays inside to Hickey, lobs it over the top. Should be cut out by Quayle. He lets it bounce, gets himself just into a little bit of trouble, and he has to put it behind for a corner. A little bit of a nervy piece of play there.
It was a little bit of a sort of hit and hope there, a little bit from Hickey. He didn't quite get in behind Quayle, which he wanted it to get to, so a little bit fortunate to get a corner here.
Gavin Hoy and Lawrence Sharuma, the two standing over it. Plenty of players who can whip in a dangerous ball. Hoy will be the one, so the Canadian sends it in centrally. It's well away though, but only as far as Hickey, who tries to smash it with the left boot. It didn't really go very far. You might get a second bite at it though. Dwells on the ball. Eventually Brown is there to break up the play. And here's Bulbor Sam. You'd think not have as much space as he did against Taroona. They really sat back. I'd expect South Hobart to be pressing a lot more as the lovely ball is played into the channel, but Lewis read it well. Very accomplished defender playing centre-back. Oscar Thomas out injured, of course, for South Hobart. They've got plenty of defensive options. Connor Schmidt, another one injured, but just shows the real depth of options this South Hobart side has. There's a clear foul on Drake there, who has drawn a straight red card. Well done early here. I've got to say, my view is completely obstructed by a pole, so I'll leave this to you, Jacob. We'll have a look at the replay.
I think he's actually changed it to a yellow. I think he's put out the wrong card.
He's put out the wrong card.
He's put out the wrong card.
I thought that was very harsh, and I must have missed something. Just Drake rolling around on the floor afterwards.
Poor Kim, we're only a few minutes into the season, but he's pulled the wrong card. But that happened in a previous game.
It did happen on Monday, in fact. The second yellow was shown, only problem being that he hadn't actually received a first yellow card, one of the Taroona boys. As we have a look at the foul there, and
but the right decision, it is a yellow card.
Late, professional foul, clear slice of cheese, our first of the season.
But no.
It goes to Kobe Kemp, and he'll be walking the tightrope as they go for the routine there rather than firing a shot in the way Hoy was firing him the other night. I'm surprised he didn't opt to have a shot there as Mearns looks to come forward. Plays a long, hopeful ball. Hoy will give chase, but he's never getting to that one. It's easily worked behind by Farrell. Headed into the midfield by Van der May. There's Kemp. Looking for Hess, couldn't find him. Here's Sharuma. Bulbor Sam now, can he get on it and run it? Farrell, he does, and he blitzes straight past him. Here's Bulbor Sam charging into the box, but his touch was too heavy. A real flash there from Sam. We see the sheer pace and excitement he brings, but his touch into the box was a poor one. And Wilson will take the goal kick. So Ludford works it forward, but a poor pass. The Canadian Drake, hotline bling as D. Gill has already nicknamed him. Canadian and Drake, it pretty well writes itself as Hoy turns on the ball and is brought down. I thought there was a little shirt grab there by Ludford. The referee says play on. Ludford in hard again. Can't win the ball though. Here's Collard. Chips it forward. Headed away by Quayle. It was Lewis, sorry. fighting hard for his Ludford, and the foul is called by Kim. So another set piece opportunity. It's Olympia doing all the probing early, and again they take it quickly, and that was really ill-advised there. Darcy Hall tracking back, and he just clears it. There's a couple of good set piece chances they've wasted here, Olympia. Just a little overzealous, a little eager to get things moving at pace, but you'd just like to see him maybe just show a bit more patience. So the throw comes in. Here's Morton. Hasn't seen much of it early. Darcy Hall, tip for big things this year, as this man Hess is, and Drake is in with a sliding challenge, and it's the first corner of the game for South Hobart. Their first chance to test Paradisus and this back four of Olympia. Kemp. So it's Kobe Kemp standing over the ball here. He plays it in near post, but Wadawa is there to clean up, and here's Borbor Sam, who'll look to turn. Couldn't get around Ludford, who fouls him. Borbor wants the advantage, but the referee had already said bring it back, so nothing there for the marquee man.
He's quick too, isn't
Lightning, isn't he? Fair to say we're showing a few players a clean pair of heels this year as Lewis heads away, but it's going to find its way to Warren Woodawu. Plays it with Gavin Hoy, who looks to get up and run at Ludford. Hoy, well cut out by Kemp tracking back. He's going to do a mountain of work in midfield. Darcy Hall might just try and win the throw, and he does as the Canadian Drake puts it out.
Yeah, it seems like Olympia has started the much stronger side at the moment. South are really struggling to get to play in Olympia's half while Vandermeer heads back to Paradisus, and Olympia will clear.
It's a long ball, but no one there. Here's Morton. Collard gets in his back a little bit. Morton plays it forward. Quick pass from Hess, too quick for Kemp. They'll win it back though. And Morton goes all the way back to Ludford, who just lobs it long. Darcy Hall will give chase. Here's Lazinski. Lazinski with a beautiful ball into the path of Hess. Just overhit. He'll keep it in, will he? No, his touch couldn't quite do it. But direct stuff here from South Hobart, and whilst it might not be aesthetic, that's just caused a couple of moments of panic for the Olympia defenders. There is a bit of thought that maybe they can get after them in the air.
Yeah, well, 7 minutes in, and we've already seen a couple of times where they tried to play in a long ball through to try and get in behind the Olympia defence, and that ball there, Hess just couldn't quite reach it, but it looked dangerous.
Throw to Morton. Mans is in there, and he fouls him, so a free kick. Here's Brown in his new defensive midfield role. Obviously with the wealth of centre-backs they've got, something had to give. They've got, as we said, Oscar Thomas on the sideline, Stan Brown, Lewis Ludford, no shortage of options. So becoming a defensive midfield just to add a bit of steel in there. Here's Morton. He's dispossessed though by Hickey. Foot race here, and the electric Darcy Hall gets in behind Drake, who goes down. The referee says play on. Hall centering ball to Morton. 1-0 South Hobart. Nick Morton drills it home, and he is pumped. He gives it to the crowd. They give it back to him. He doesn't care. It's 1-0 South Hobart, Jacob.
That was fantastic. Oh, and Nick Morton has just given a sign of cash money to the Olympia crowd. Olympia had a little bit of a chuckle as Morton nearly fell over. I don't know if we're going to get that on the replay here at some point.
Oh, we've got the replay of the goal, and what a tidy finish it was. Just curled it in, and after all the talk of Olympia, all the big money spent, just a little message being sent there by Nick Morton. I'm a big signing too, he says, and hasn't he just made his impact felt? And South Hobart draw first blood in the 2016 season. Yeah. It was a sharp piece of play. Drake went down, didn't get the free kick.
Well, Darcy Hall take a bow.
Darcy Hall kept going, didn't he?
That was fantastic, and he could have gone down and then tried for the penalty. Actually, even after he got up off the deck, didn't take the dive, played the ball across. Morton scores and shows the money sign to the Olympia faithful.
Yeah, certainly gave it to them. They gave it right back. There's a bit of feeling here. There's a fair bit between those two teams. Obviously, a fierce title battle last year that went right down to the wire. We'll do that. There's a real rivalry brewing between these two teams, and you feel it's going to play out this year. As Sheehy gets on the ball, Olympia like to just get a bit of possession. Ball Sam looking to dribble his way in, but there was Dogger Brown, dogged as ever, raking up the play, and he's done well to put it out. It's a great finish by Morton. Fine centering ball from Hall as the handball is given against Morton. It'll be a free kick to Olympia. So heading in tonight, Olympia were $2 favourites with the bookies. South Hobart slight outsiders at $2.50. It's not too often South Hobart will go into a game as underdogs. Certainly a rare thing for them to head into a season not as the favourites. They're showing their quality here, and it is a really strong starting 11. Two great teams out there. As we see Collard, the rather misplaced ball, but did really well to keep it in, Ball Sam, and South Hobart across to deal with it. And the ground just going a bit flat here. The Olympia crowd silenced a little bit by that finish from Morton. Here's Sharuma. Puts it out in front of Hickey. Oh, misplaced and straight through the guts they go, but Spiros Paradisus is there to sweep up. It's a misplaced pass and nearly causing some problems down the middle there. Lewis leading Hoy to the ball. Certainly fancy himself in the physical battle with Hoy, who's more of a technical player. Very hard to shirk off the ball though, such as his skills, and that's a lovely pass for Bull Sam. It was miles out ahead of him, but he really shows his pace to get there, and all done in the end to put it out of play for the throw in there. So throw in an advanced area for the Warriors. Here is Sharuma, wins the throw in. Sharuma hacked out of there. Lazinski fighting in the air there and does well to bring it down, only as far as Drake. And here's Mearns, who looked to settle it down. Lazinski closing him down though. And that's something that they certainly didn't see a lot of on Monday against Taruna. They were very content to park the bus, sit back, and Olympia could really carry the ball with limited pressure up to the opposing box. And just wonder if maybe a few bad habits might have formed from that, as turning is Ball Sam. Here's Lazinski. Centering pass is cut off by Hickey, but Morton wins it back. Lovely ball in there from Darcy Hall. Some fancy footwork from Hess, did well. Morton goes down, told to get up, and deflects out of play for an Olympia throw in. 13 minutes gone. South Hobart with the lead. Here's Lazinski, and they're looking increasingly dangerous. They're pressing, just causing a few problems for Olympia as they look to play their way out. Here's Kemp. Plays it back to Ludford. Ludford's pass is really poor. Easily cut out there by Collard. Gets it to Ball Sam, who looks to get his head up and run at the defence. Beats one, beats two, beats three. And in the end, the foul is given, and a good run there by Ball Sam. But plenty of numbers back for South Hobart. And I don't think they'll be too fussed if you've got Sam running at that many defenders all night. It's when he gets one-on-one in the area they've got to watch out. Van der May takes the free kick, looking for Drake, who's made an advanced run. And it spills behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, Olympia just starting to get back into the game a bit. They seemed a little bit shell-shocked after going behind, but oh no, a missed pass there, errant pass, and Olympia able to regroup. Ball Sam on the ball. Three of them can't, or they've just been able to get the ball off him, but he comes back in for more and out for a throw and wins the throw.
Yeah, fascinating duel, that one, between Quayle and Sam. Farrell playing left back today, Quayle at right back. So they go all the way back to Spiros Paradisus, who launches it long. I'm not sure that's the way they want to play. Gavin Hoy not really the typical target man. Lewis chips one. Sets Darcy Hall a task. He looks to put some pressure on the Canadian Drake, but cool as a cucumber. And back to Paradisus, who's immediately closed down by Morton.
It's going to be an interesting battle there, Drewster, the Drake v Hall on the left-hand side for South Hobart.
Yeah, you have to say at the moment, Hall obviously taking the honours with his assist, but certainly Drake not afraid to bomb forward, so there's going to be plenty of opportunities to try and get him behind. And here he is now, Drake. We've seen a couple of times he's bobbed up in very advanced positions. He's with Dawu. He can't get around the Frenchman, Loic Farrell, though. Darcy Hall looking to get a foot in. Well, Dawu goes centrally. Here's Collard being harassed every time he touches the ball. It's a lovely pass, though, and Drake cuts inside. But covering nicely there was Farrell. As this one is played to Kemp. Bit of a falcon there as Hall launches it. It might bounce fortuitously for Hall. Mearns had to just hack it out there, and he does well to find Wadawu with it. Quite a well-weighted ball in the end. Wadawu switches the play with a lovely pass and a chance now for Ball to run a quail. What can he do? He looks to cut inside. Kemp's getting back, and he blocks the space beautifully, Kobe Kemp. And after his early booking, he's been really good in that defensive midfield role. Here's Lazinski.
It certainly seems like South Hobart, whenever Ball gets the ball, that there's a second player and then a third player coming in to support the whoever's playing on Ball at the time. You know, Kemp came in there again. That was the second time that he's come across and provided that support. We'll see what they do here.
Yeah, this is Ball Sam again looking to run at the defence. He crafts a shot, but Wilson is up to the task and he holds the first test of the evening, one that you'd expect him to save, but he does well. The signing from the Northern Rangers to replace Kane Pearce in goals. He launches this one long.
Won in the Summer Cup last week with the incredible last-minute save.
Yeah, it was a very sharp piece of glove work from Wilson. Hasn't been tested as such early in this one, but that's a foul. Right, Sam, well and truly in the back. A few suggestions that perhaps a slice of cheese should be forthcoming, but I reckon he's just going to get it ticking off. Not a lot in it. Kemp certainly felt that as he was booked for his earlier, it should be a slice of cheese for Ball, but
different area of the park, I guess, with the professional foul looking at it, maybe.
Yeah, the referee. There wasn't a lot of contact, a slight clip. Anyway, a chance for South Hobart to play a long diagonal into the box. Quayle standing over this one, and he plays it in short instead. Oh, lovely work there from Kemp, and he chips it in, and here is Brown, who just got under it. He had space in the area. It really opened up there.
Here. Look at the space he's got.
Parting like the Red Sea right there. And Dogger Brown, I tell you what, he had time to take a touch there. I don't think he expected to have that much space, and he's got under it, but some real miscommunication at the back there for Olympia.
Mearns was not impressed at all. I think neither was Hickey as well. They were both sort of pointing, but I don't really know who they were pointing at. There was one of those two had to have gone to him.
Oh yeah, someone's got to be on the big Brown there, of course.
Was the biggest bloke on the park.
And they've know all about him doing some damage in the box from set pieces, as we remember last year what many thought would be the decisive moment in the title race. That late winner he scored against them last year ultimately wouldn't be enough. That's a lovely ball over the top to Hess, just a little bit heavy. It was a really nicely timed run by Freddie Hess, who's made a couple of them early. Very intelligent player, and after a really strong pre-season, he's looked a threat so far tonight.
The second time Hess has nearly been in on goal. Just evaded him.
Yeah, he's
South are looking dangerous here, Drewster.
You got to say they've looked sharper. They've probably had slightly less of the ball, but they've certainly done a lot more when they've had it. They are looking the stronger team at the moment. Very early days, however, just 19 minutes into the season. This one's launched onto the head of Lazinski, but you got to say the South Hobart defence is looking a lot more solid than the Warriors back four, as Lazinski takes it quick and looks to play Nick Morton up against Lehman. What can he do here? He curls one in. Hess beaten to it by Van der May, who steers the ball away. A battle in midfield, and storming out now is Hickey. Long ball, but that's well read by Lewis, who's again there to cut it out, and dealing with everything quite comfortably. A direct ball is a complete mix-up at the back here. Paradisus and Mearns just not on the same page. They'll get a corner. It could have been a lot more though, Jacob Batt.
Yeah, very, very lucky there, Olympia, that they didn't go 2-0 down.
Chance now to whip this one in as played to the near post. Lazinski lurking dangerously, flicks one there, it's cleared off the line. Lazinski with another bite at it, and he's just got under it, but it's cleared off the line there. A saving piece of work.
Holding on, have a little back heel from Lazinski.
Under siege at the back. Very nicely done. Right, the Canadian line. Drake, I think it was. Saved the day.
Probably made up for his mistake of falling over before that led to the goal.
Paradisus launches this one long. Ludford, well, he'll have Hoyes beating in the air all night. They'll be happy if they just keep resorting to these long balls. South Hobart really putting them under pressure here. They've been the strongest side so far, and they're really looking to press them hard. And Olympia just looking a little bit panicked, which is not something you'd see. That's right. The ball's played forward. Here's Ball Sam, who's bundled over by Quayle. Won the ball though. Well done by the young fella. And now looks to turn defence into attack. Lazinski and Hall not quite on the same page, but here's the work rate. Lazinski tracking back in defence. He does well to keep his feet though, and in the end, the referee draws it back. And free kick to Olympia. It's a delayed one. Vandermeer. Here's Mearns. Long diagonal ball looking to play him with Dawu, but the Frenchman Loic Farrell was there to head it behind. Throw in an advanced area. Pulsating game here at KG5 to kick off what is sure to be an exciting season. The two highly fancied side as far as title favourites are concerned, going at it. And South Hobart have drawn first blood as Wadawu. A bit of push and shove. Sharuma playing a bit there. Lazinski's body there by Vandermeer. This one's launched long, and Freddie Hesse just straight offside. Again, they take it quick and launch it long. Does Vandermeer, who looks for Hoy, who just pushed off of Quayle, and it'll be a free kick to South Hobart. But again, I just don't know about this long ball stuff from Olympia. I don't think that's how you want to get at South Hobart. They've got a fairly strong back four. And certainly in the air. I'm not sure they're going to enjoy a whole lot of success as Wilson stands over it. Certainly the weather was threatening to be quite nasty earlier in the evening, but it's turned into quite a good night for football in the end. A little bit cold, but not too bad. We thought it was going to be really rain-affected clash. Not so. Winning the ball well
I
for
thought it was going
Olympia.
to be so cold, I decided to wear my mighty West Ham United scarf with me, but probably could have left it at home.
Yeah, probably use every chance you can to wear that one before they get knocked off by Everton in the FA Cup semi-final. I've already written Man United off in that one, so...
well, we still need to beat Man United in the replay.
You'll do that. The ball
we should do.
The ball was played forward, a searching ball again, but well and truly ahead of Sharuma, who's not going to get there. And South Hobart be very content with the start they've made. Quayle taking time. They'll just take the pace out of it after a pretty furious opening to this game, it has to be said. Lovely work there by Quayle. Poor pass though, looking for Lazinski. Brown wins the header. Lazinski bundles into the back of Hickey and spills out a play. It'll be a South Hobart throw in. Quayle. Here's Lazinski. Plenty of balls onto his head, and obviously Braden Mann, such a massive loss in pure goal scoring terms, but from a structural point of view, the 4-3-3 with Lazinski at the centre of it is looking quite balanced as rather poor crosses played in there. In the end, took a big deflection though, so it'll be a corner ball for South Hobart and another chance to press the attack. One there by Kobe Kemp, who after picking up the booking early on has looked very assured ever since. And he's got a real dangerous right foot. He's a real threat from these set pieces, and Olympia have looked vulnerable as he plays it in. Brown can't get there. It might fall for Morton, who was shaped to shoot, puts it over and gets the Bronx from the crowd.
Yeah, I don't know if you can hear that, but the Olympia faithful certainly let him know that that one was well off target.
I don't think that'll faze him too much.
It's good to see Tasmanian football like this, though. A completely packed grandstand here at KG5, and there's a little bit of heat in the battle. And the fans are truly involved.
Fair to say there's not a lot of love lost between those two clubs over the last 12 months, and certainly a fair bit between Morton and the Olympia fans already. Is a nice little subplot to the evening and indeed to the season as the throw-in comes, and it's going to find its way to Morton, who heads it down nicely, and Darcy Hall couldn't quite bring it under control. It was well defended by Mearns in the end, and Lehman will play it out, but it's immediately turned over by Quayle. Nick Morton back to Lazinski, wide on the right, plays into the channel, and it's allowed to roll out for a goal kick. But again, it's South Hobart who are looking more dangerous in their attacking moves at the moment.
They are. They've had a really good patch the last 5 minutes. They've been able to control the ball and play the kind of football that they want to play. They want to be able to play the ball into to people's feet, play it, run off, receive the ball, and they're playing the long ball quite well.
They are. There might be a slight wind advantage.
There you go. That's the ball I was talking about.
Huge factor. But again, they're forcing the turnover, aren't they? Well done by Brown to play it back to Farrell, and now you see Olympia looking to press, but Ludford will go back to Lewis, and they might have just got a few words from McNeil there, because suddenly the intensity of the press really lifted on that attack as Sharuma looks to control, but he's touched a little bit heavy and he has to lob it back to Drake and puts him under pressure. Hess is on him quickly, but he'll play it out to Mearns. Mearns to Collard. They look to pass their way out of trouble, but can't find a way through this South Hobart press. It's really impressive work here, and again they force the turnover.
Well, it's interesting seeing both teams wanting to apply the press. I think you alluded to that just before, Drewster, with Olympia really pushing forward. Hoy, Sam, and their other attacking players really pushing up when South have the ball in defence. And here comes ball now. Look at him go. Oh, but it's well cut off there, and Hess picks it up. That's that long ball. Vander May, Hickey, out of danger. No, nearly a foul. Belazinski's able to hold on to the ball. Morton out to the right. Oh, mistake at the back. And they're in. But to the back post. And Drake's able to clear to ball. Picks up. Losing the ball again. Oh.
Very late
now
there.
He took part in there. Yeah, good refereeing. He let it go over on the other side. Had a Stern talking to him. And he's done nearly exactly the same foul. And that's what he's doing right there. Kim's pointing over. All right. You can't do that, especially after you just did the same foul 5 minutes before. Good refereeing by Kim. I don't know if we'll see it on the replay, but he did point over to the other side of the pitch, alluding to the fact that, well, mate, I just had a talking to you 5 minutes ago, so...
he's ticked him off, and there's the cheese, and a chance here for the dangerous Kobe Kemp to swing one in, and he does just that. Paradisus comes out to collect, doesn't get there completely, and it's last off Olympia, is it? Both teams are trying to claim the ball, but a goal kick's awarded. So Hobart certainly felt they had a claim. Here's Lehman looking to charge forward. Interesting that Bulbul Sam has now switched over to the right-hand side, and Wadawi switching flanks as they try and make something happen. I'll be hoping he'll have a bit more luck running out the Frenchman. You have to say Quayle has had his number so far, although a lot of credit has to go to Brown and Kemp in the midfield areas who've tracked back and blocked the space off. Every time he's got the ball and looked to run, he might have beaten a fullback. There's always been someone there, and another foul this game. Just getting a little bit chippy at the moment. Olympia perhaps getting a little bit frustrated. They're a team who like to possess the ball, but they're not being allowed to do it. It's South Hobart winning the midfield battle at the moment. And again, the Quayle to swing this one in. He teases the ball, won't beat the first man, which is Mearns though. He's clearing header found Hoy, who flicks it into space for no one in particular. Sharuma will give chase, and Ludford is there. To go all the way back to Wilson, who shanks it with his left foot. This might play in ball. He duels with Loic Farrell. Here's Jacob Collard looking to get forward. Haven't seen much of him in advanced positions yet. He's been really resigned to kind of a deeper lying midfield role so far. Here's Drake. So they look to get the ball along the deck and play. And Sharumo is shoved over by Ludford. Get up, says the referee. Lewis now plays it for Hess, who just lost his footing. Played a little bit behind him there from Lewis. And half an hour ticks by. 1-0 South Hobart. Olympia looking to play with a little more urgency here as Sharuma cuts right across Freddie Hess, and an easy foul there for the referee to give, and he'll just give him a little warning. Certainly no need for the slice of cheese there, but
no, but a little bit of a talking to, and the next foul that he gives away like that, Kim will probably give him a slice of cheese, just like he did with Ball Sam.
Indeed, as Farrell lobs one in onto the head of Lazinski, but he's beaten in the air there by Van der May. Wadawu, who's shadowed there by Kobe Kemp, goes through his legs. Does well to hold on to it. Wadawu, he's probably been the best of Olympia's attacking players so far. Here's Ball Sam now. He looks to get up and run. Uses the overlapping run of Drake, who tried to play it past Loic Farrell, but he's been solid as the proverbial rock so far, the Frenchman. Not letting anything get by him, and he shut that one down again. Directing the troops here. He might just lob it onto the head of Brown, who's been impressive in his defensive midfield role. Hess protects the ball from Hickey, who's in tenaciously, but he won it. Deflected into the path. The South Hobart player, Farrell with the overlapping run. It's a lovely cross, and it's a chance for Darcy Hall. His shot is blocked by Lehman, and another corner. But again, they turn defence into attack very quickly. They get the ball in there, and unmarked at the back post was Darcy Hall. Just took a moment to step. Made pretty good contact in the end, but Lehman was across to get his body in the way. Another set-piece opportunity, though.
Well, it's a great build-up there from the middle of the park. Brown winning the 50-50 ball, as you'd expect. And then I think it was Hess with the ball as we have the corner floated in from Kemp. Oh!
Off the line! Brown volleyed it beautifully, and another clearance off the line.
Twice. Brown has been denied twice from the goal line.
Stunning. Well, is this the season of the goal line clearance? It is a couple of rippers we've seen in a couple of weeks.
An amazing strike by Brown and an amazing clearance off the goal line.
You won't believe he hasn't scored. He's offering a threat here going forward,
wondering
Brown.
what he has to do, Drissa. What do I need to do to get my name on the score sheet?
He's been impressive early, though. He's playing the defensive midfield role, but it's twice he's nearly scored. I'll hopefully have a replay of that one for you in a second. That was a cracking hit. Some real powers. Getting in behind there was Sharuma, and he's brought down by Ludford. No card by the looks of it. Sharuma not terribly pleased, and I think it was Brown rather than Ludford who brought him down, and another set-piece opportunity. And the Olympia boys just suggesting there should have been a booking there. Not something I'm a big fan of, seeing the players trying to get the other side have their players booked, but seems to be encouraging in the game more and more. Would be more accepted than it has been in the past. There's Collard with a chance now, and Olympia haven't looked a threat in the last 20 minutes or so. They'd love to conjure something up here against the run of play. Here's Collard. What can he do? He teases one into the centre. It's headed home, and Olympia have equalised. It's the captain, Jake Vandermeer, at the back post. A curling ball from Collard. Found its way through the heart of the South Hobart defence. They didn't account for the run at the back post of Vandermeer. He heads home. It's 1-1. Olympia hit back. And the crowd have come to life there. Jake Vandermeer, he's pumped. And you've got to say, Jacob, completely against the run of play that.
Well, you wouldn't have expected we would be saying 33 minutes into this match that Olympia have equalised, and they probably don't deserve to.
Yeah, they've really been on the back foot, and they've taken the set-piece opportunity beautifully there. 1-0. The captain, Jake Vandermeer, with a real goal to inspire his charges there. Hickey plays it to Ball Sam. Will we see a real bit of swagger in their step now? Here's Hickey. South Hobart still furious with their pressing here. Hickey controls it. Lovely work there by Morton to pressure him. They force another turnover at the back. Oh, really poor pass there from Spiros Paradisus, which almost Played a chance there for Darcy Hall. They play quickly to Gavin Hoy. He's been quiet so far. This man's been good with Darwood. What can he do? He's immediately shadowed by Kemp, and then the referee gets in the way, and Darcy Hall breaks up the play. Not a lot ahead of him though, so he'll do well just to play it back to Quayle, who launches it straight down the guts, and Paradisus will be able to pick that one up. 1-1 the score. It's been a cracking game so far. South Hobart a bit on top, but it's all for naught because Olympia have equalised. The header won by Brown, and as far as Sam flicked into the path of Sharuma. Here's Hoy. Lewis on him. It was Ludford, sorry. Now here's a chance for Dawu. Plays one of the back post. Farrell away. Here's Kobe Kemp. Lovely little pass to Freddie Hess. Kemp now looking to get forward. That's a beautiful ball down the middle. And here's a chance for Darcy Hall. He's one-on-one with Paradisus. It's Darcy Hall blazing wide. Oh, it was beautiful build-up play from Kobe Kemp. And the one-on-one chance spurned by Hall. Really should have done better. Just got forced a little bit wide in the end. But maybe would have done well to just take another touch forward before firing. Either way, he should have at least made the keeper work. It's poor from Hall. It's a really good opportunity. Kobe Kemp with some beautiful play in the build-up. Again, there are holes at the back here for Olympia. It's not the most settled defence I've seen. They've a bit easily carved through at times on the counter. And they'll get the relieving free kick here though. 36 minutes of tick by. Here's Collard, whose free kick brought the South Hobart defence undone for the equaliser. He looks to play in Borbor Sam. He's chest down, right to the path of Farrell, but he keeps control of it. Skips inside a two. Couldn't beat the third man though. It was Ludford, who was solid back there. The veteran at the back, such a calming presence, Hugh Ludford, as Lazinski flicks on. He's fantastic with that. Mearns chips one, looking for the head of Hoy. He's beaten by Lewis, but his header went straight to Sharuma. Just to turn on his left, he's immediately surrounded. Collard now increasingly getting forward. Hickey, his shot is blocked, and with a hand, says the referee, and another free kick in a dangerous area for Olympia. And again, I don't think they'll be rushing it. They had a couple of set pieces in dangerous areas early on. They were just a bit quick to take them for the last one. You think they'll be a bit more thoughtful with it. Gavin Hoy might fancy a shot. He scored an absolute belter from range last week, which was chalked off for offside. He had a couple of goals from inside the box as well. The left foot of Sharuma dummies is going to be the Canadian Hoy, who drives and finds the netting only, but he wasn't far away, was Gavin Hoy. Olympia just getting their tails up a little bit now. They're on the score sheet, just finding their feet. As we tick towards half-time, what has been a fantastic first half of action. Been no shortage of chances. Here's Wilson, immediately pressured by Hoy. Did well to play it to Ludford. He launches it long to Freddie Hess. He nods the ball for Lazinski, but Mearns just took his eye off the ball with a clearance there and scooted horribly. Almost played Lazinski in. Not quite though. Paradisus was able to mop up in the end. Here's Quayle. Morton's in behind now. Nick Morton to restore the lead. Oh, it's Nick Morton at the double. He gives it to the crowd once more. Nick Morton with a major impact. South Hobart reclaim the lead.
I want to see what he does here. Does Nick Morton come over and give the crowd a little bit more?
Just subdued there again. A lovely ball there, played in by Darcy Hall. But again, they have got in behind this Olympia back four time and time again. They've been very shaky at the back. The
Morton
Olympia
received some boos from the Olympia faithful.
That'll only fire him up more.
How'd the guns going? The guns going as a celebration, but it was a great finish.
He got 2 goals, just playing that number 10 role to perfection. Morton, he's had a real impact. All the talk pre-season has been about Olympia's big signings. South Hobart, the return of Nick Morton has been the decisive one so far. He's been the best player on the pitch, and he's back in defence now. He'll look to get there ahead of Wadawu. In the end, doing really well was Lewis. Just got in ahead of Wadawu, drew the contact, went down. Really experienced stuff there from Lewis. So 2-1. Nick Morton at the double. And Jake Vandermeer for Olympia in between that. What a game it's been. We predicted goals beforehand. We've not been disappointed. Here's Shea Hickey, who loses out to Kobe Kemp, who's having a real influence on this again. The quick release to Hall, and now Hess. They're through again. Paradisus down to this one. Didn't quite get enough on it, but they're getting behind Lehman on this left-hand defensive flank. They're getting in behind the centre-backs. They're making things happen. A very lively front three of Lazinski, Hess and Hall, and Morton and Kemp are joining up nicely. They've been the better side, South Hobart. Olympia might have come in as the favourites. It's Souths who've looked the sharper team through 40 minutes. Here's Brown. They've won the midfield battle. He's been a real key to that. I was unsure how he'd go in the central midfield role, but I've really liked what I've seen from him as a defensive midfielder. He's covering the turf well, as Hoy skips inside nicely, but then lost the ball to Kemp. Here's Lazinski turning. He's really relishing leading the line here, Big Albie Lazinski, using his solid frame, playing that centre forward role. Long throw. Flick was good from Hall. They'll win a corner. And another chance to pile forward for South Hobart. 41 minutes have ticked by here at KG5. And they lead 2-1. They have a chance from the set piece here. Building nicely. It's going to be Kobe Kemp, who after picking up a booking early on, has not put a foot wrong out there. Lazinski at the near post. He's got Brown, Morton, and Hess to aim for it. Sails over all their heads. And will be hacked out of there by Wadawu. Oh, brave header one there by Quayle, but it went straight to Collard. He looks to play in Borbor Sam, but it was really well read there by Darcy Hall to truck back and win it, but Borbor kept fighting and he wins it. He gets his head up, plays it to Hickey in the middle of the park. He goes to Sharuma. Ludford looks to step up, and now Wadawu with a little bit of space in behind. He plays the ball into the area. Hoy does well to win it first, turning onto the left, centering ball. Collard slipped over at the crucial moment. The ball was just off of him, and Hall wins the throw as Lehman puts it out. And a real furious pace has been really the way the game has gone, Jacob Butt.
Yeah, certainly, Drewster. It's really South is taking up to Olympia at this stage, and if they continue the press that they're applying here in the first half, in the second half, I think South is going to get over the top of Olympia. Olympia is they look slow. They're not using their pace like they should be, and I'm a little bit concerned if I was an Olympia supporter.
Yeah, I'd be a little bit worried at the back. I still think they've got goals in them. They've got some talented players. As Lazinski looks to turn Mearns, but again, miscommunication between Paradisus and Mearns. The communication between the defenders and the keeper has not been great for Olympia. It's led to a number of worrying moments, and again they turn the ball over. Here's Freddie Hess looking to get one away in the box. Across was Van der May to put it out. And it'll be a throw in, but I think McNeil would badly take half time here. They're under siege at the moment, Olympia.
Yeah, Olympia need to get a little bit more out of the likes of Hoy, the likes of their signings, Borbor and Sharuma especially. They need these players to make some space. But also they need the midfielders to be able to find them a space. Here's one of those players in Warren Wadawu. Just misses Hoy's feet, and it's through to Wilson, and he collects at the back.
They haven't really had a lot to worry about at the back with a set piece brought them undone, but not too many heart and mouth kind of moments for South Hobart at the back.
There was a soft shot from Borbor, which Wilson dealt with quite easily, and then there was one off target as well. Apart from that, Wilson hasn't had to do all too much.
Yeah, it's South Hobart right on top, and here's Wadawu looking to run at Ludford, but Farrell was across again. It's an ambitious pass, really set Sharuma a task. He can't get there. It took a deflection though, and it'll be their throw in. So Olympia looked hit back before the half. South Hobart, good value for their lead, but as we saw earlier in the half, it just takes one moment. He's dominant as you like. One moment can change things as Sharuma plays it in, and Zachary Drake overlapping. He curls one to the back post, and it's a really nice header away by Liam Quayle. Kemp lost it in midfield. Collard played it to Drake. The imports combining. He's just clipped it there by Hess and goes down, draws the free kick. He's with Dawu, and he's just not on the same page as Shuruma. We've seen that a little bit. They've certainly looked a lot more cohesive at South Hobart than the Olympia boys have, and perhaps that comes from playing together a bit more.
Yeah, could well be, Drewster, which is something that you raised at the start of the match. You were concerned that Olympia might not have played enough matches together, and South will know where people are going to run to, what runs they're going to make, and where they're going to play the ball. And that's, at the moment, you can see that on the park.
Lazinski again has Mearns beating, but the flick on goes to Vandermeer, back to Paradisus. As we tick into stoppage time in the first half. Long ball played forward for Boy. He brings it down with his chest. He's immediately surrounded. He has been all half. They've really done well, the South Hobart midfield, to track back and deny him the space to cut inside. Here's Shuruma. Olympia getting some numbers forward here if they can keep hold of the ball. It wasn't a great pass though. Here's Drake, back to Hickey. Hickey with a good pass this time. Ludford across to cut out the run of Wadawu. Missed the hat clearance though. Just shields it, plays it, and Lewis will put it into touch, will he? No, Hess kept it in. Was ill-advised to do so, was he? No, Morton bustled really well to win it. There might be one last chance here before the half to South Hobart. Hess's touch was a poor one, ends up almost winning it back. Here's Shuruma. Lazinski puts it into touch, and you got to imagine there can't be too much longer left here.
Olympia are showing some signs here that they're trying to get back into the match, that they're moving the ball a little bit quicker, and the players that I was talking about earlier, they are getting their touches on the ball. Your Hickeys with ball with the ball now gets past about 3, by the way, but unfortunately
there's a fourth. There's been an extra man every time he's tried to run it in this half.
There has been. He can't take on all 11, so they need to work off the ball for him, and then he needs to find their feet. Get past 1, get past 2, lay it off.
Lazinski with another flick on. He has just been a man mountain up top tonight as Luke Farrell, the Frenchman, looking to get in behind the Canadian Drake, who got there first, and he wins the goal kick. For 47 minutes, the referee, Kim, has a look at his watch, and you'd imagine the whistle was surely about to blow here. And a few goals, but no real stoppages of note. 2-1 South Hobart, a lead that they have been good value for. They've definitely been the better team. And I think Olympia would definitely take the half-time whistle to just get in there and regroup. They might tweak a few things. Well, they might have one last chance, though. Here's Warren Woodawu looking to get behind Morton. He sees it into touch, does the man who has scored a brace and is off to a flying start in the 2016 season. Of course, coming back from Melbourne, Nick Morton. And what an impact he's had. He's undoubtedly become a better player for his experience over there, and I think we've seen that in this first half.
Well, he's best on. He's best on in the first half by a country mile, and that's half time.
And that's the lead for South Hobart. They'll be the happier of two teams. Perhaps a little bit disappointed to have conceded because Olympia haven't really offered a lot. They were brought undone at the set piece. They've been well on top, but I'm sure Ken Morton would be delighted with the way his Chargers responded to that equaliser. They just got right about attacking them again, and they took the lead soon after. A brace to Nick Morton with a header from captain Jake Vandermeer in between has South Hobart leading Olympia 2-1 at the halftime break. It's been an intriguing battle so far. We're expecting fireworks. We're expecting two of the best teams in the league, the two favourites, the top two of last year, to put on a show, and we've certainly seen that so far.
Yeah, we certainly have, Drewster. It's probably not what we expected, to be honest, and that's good for Tasmanian football. It's good to see a tight contest. South has had the better of the play. That's certainly true. Olympia are quite lucky that they're not 4 down, to be honest. There's been 2 that have been cleared off the line, and there's probably been one other really solid chance of them as well. I mean, how brown is it on the score sheet is beyond me. That was some fantastic defending, but it's a set piece that got them back in the game, so they're only 1 goal down. They're probably a little bit fortunate to actually have scored that. So Olympia are probably going into the sheds thinking that, wow, this could be a lot worse, so we're quite happy.
And we will be back for the second half shortly.
away from the camera.
Welcome back for the second half between Olympia and South Hobart. A slight turn up so far with South Hobart leading 2-1. Maybe it shouldn't be so much of a turn up. Perhaps the pre-season hype getting a little carried away, because what we've seen is a far more cohesive South Hobart team than Olympia team. They've looked very vulnerable at the back. Nick Mearns hasn't played a lot there. Lehman at left back has been beaten a few times by Darcy Hall in particular. They're just, with Vandermeer and Mearns, it's not the quickest back four you've ever seen, and the pace of South Hobart just causing a few problems, Jacob.
Yeah, you're right, Drew. So they're certainly getting in behind Olympia's defence, and it's causing headaches for them. Hess has got through there on the right a few times. He just failed to actually get to the ball. Kemp's playing in delightful balls. Morton's looking really good in that number 10 role, and they're gelling. They're linking together, and that's what Olympia is failing to do. They might need 3 or 4 games. These new signings, maybe they're a couple of weeks away from really being able to link in with the way that the Eastern Shore side plays.
We've been reliably informed by our groundside reporter, who's just a bit too good for us in the box tonight, Mr. Damien Gill, that a certain Dogger Brown may just be having a few choice words and just trying to wind up a couple of the imports. Apparently he's been trying to get under the skin of Borbor Sam, who is on a yellow card, a wily old customer, Dogger Brown. Is anyone really surprised by that? I don't think so.
Well, Dressy, you took the words right out of my mouth. I was about to say that does not surprise me in the least, and it's probably what I'd be doing as well, to be honest.
Apparently every time he gets near him, just giving him a little bit of chirp under his breath, and certainly even as they're walking onto the pitch side by side there to start the second half, though, deep in conversation as we kick off to start the second half, and doesn't look like there's been any personnel changes. I thought there might be a chance of a reshuffle at the back for Olympia. Farquhar, an option on the bench that they might have opted to bring on, because they've looked very insecure at the back, but it looks like the same old, and unsurprisingly South Hobart haven't made any change.
I thought they may have made a change, but obviously McNeil's going to stick with it and see what happens in the next 15 minutes, I guess, before he looks to the bench.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if he's made any tactical adjustments, though. Certainly, they did seem to be playing into the hands of South Hobart every time the wingers were getting the ball and cutting in. Those defensive midfielders were just locking everything off as Hickey looks to get back in front of Lazinski. Brown wins the header. Kemp will compete with Sharuma. Sharuma does well. Kemp gets a foot in. Ball looking to turn, but he's surrounded. Biting at his heels there, snapping away was Quayle. Hess looks to press Drake, who played a nice ball to Wadawu. He drifts inside. Hoy, back to Hickey, who goes to the captain Vandermeer. He looks to march forward, but can't find anything, so he goes sideways to the Canadian Drake. Mearns plays a 1-2 with him. And Drake looks to just feed one wide right. Sharuma's there and he infringes and gives away a free kick. It would have been a goal kick anyway, so not a lot of difference there. Jacob, what do you think Olympia should be looking to adjust here in the second half to get back into this one? Because if the game goes the way it did in the first half, it's hard to see how they do get anything out of it.
Well, what can they do, Drew? So, I mean, they need to be able to link better. They need to be able to play the short, quick ball, and they need to be able to use their pace. They're really struggling to be able to use their pace and play the quick ball. Hickey is probably struggling tonight a little bit, and also Borbor, they're not playing him really well enough, and he's getting trapped with the ball. He's trying to take them on and he's getting caught with it. Wadawu and Hoy, we need to see more from them, and as I'm saying that, Wadawu plays in Hoy. Into the box, back to Wadawu, and it's cleared out by South Hobart.
Ask and you shall receive.
That's what I want to see.
The drive from range is always off target.
That's the kind of football I want to see, the quick ball movement, using the pace of the Olympia players.
Credit to Warren Wadawu. He has been working hard all night. It's been the liveliest of the Olympia forwards. It's been the best player for them in an attacking sense. He just needs a little more support from the imports and from Hoya, who is not having the impact he did against Taruna, but obviously up against a much more disciplined back four and certainly a higher quality opposition. Nice. Kemp does well to win it off Hickey, who gives a bit of afters to Lazinski, who's really working hard and just brings down Ball, who will draw the free kick. Sharuma takes the free kick and plays it to Collard, who's immediately pressed by the Morthog Morton. Collard, cross to Hickey. Driving forward, that's a nice ball to Ball Sam. Can he get up and run it Quayle here? Yeah. He can, snaps his heels and crosses dangerously. Fizz one across the face of goal, no one on the end of it, and that was better.
That's what you want to see more from Olympia, Drewster. You receive the ball at Ball's feet, and then he beats one and then lays it off. He's not trying to beat two or three. He beats one and lays off a brilliant cross, just no one at the back post.
Yeah, and he didn't cut inside that time. A bit too often in the first half when he was getting the ball, he was immediately looking to cut inside. This time, just snapped to the outside there for the cross, and certainly that might be something McNeil's told him to do a bit more of, because it was noticeable in the first half. They were really playing to South Hobart's hands, the wingers, by cutting inside every time. Unless you're Ian Robben, when everyone knows you're going to cut inside, but you still can't stop it, you're not really going to be able to get away with that sort of thing. But
yeah, they had worked that out. It did seem, Drewster, you're right.
As the set piece is quickly taken to Sharuma. He slides and drives one, which was very high, very ugly, and never challenging the goal of Wilson, as they've certainly shown a lot less reluctance early days in the second half to pull the trigger. So perhaps that was something they've been instructed to do here in the second half. Don't be afraid to shoot on sight. Certainly Hoy from range was a constant threat in the Lacquer Cup on Monday, as Wilson chips it there to Luke Farrell, who's immediately pressed by Wadawu. Recovered well and puts it out of play, but this is better from Olympia. They're pressing and causing headaches. Ball from Hoy to Wadawu. He's looking lively. His cross is easily cut off by Ludford. That was charged down. Sharuma, what can he do? His shot is blocked by Morton, working back in defence. Wadawu again, just pegging South Hobart back here a little bit.
They started lively. Olympia have.
They look a lot better. The game's done somewhat of a 180, you'd have to say, as that one's hacked out of there, and now you see it's the Olympia defenders leading players to the ball, cutting it out and intercepting, but they've given away the foul here. It's quickly taken and looking to get in behind. Again with his pace is Darcy Hall. He's too quick for Mearns. He charges into the box. He lobs the keeper and makes it 3-1. What a sublime goal from Darcy Hall. Oh, it was quick counter-attacking play and a wonderful goal from the youngster.
Well, just as we were saying, Olympia has started the more lively. Darcy Hall pops up and makes it 3-1.
Oh, they took the free very quickly, and we touched on it at half-time. Darcy Hall has just looked too quick for Mearns. He's looked dangerous every time they've got in there. He got in behind and he's lobbed the keeper with a very tidy finish. And South Hobart, with a real sucker punch, Olympia were just starting to look like they were growing into the game. They threw some bodies forward and immediately they are caught out the other way. 3-1 South Hobart. Darcy Hall, as we have a look at the replay, he just burns off Mearns. He just knocks it in front of him, but that is an audacious little lob of a finish. Paradis has caught off his line. Perfection from Hall. 3-1 South Hobart.
Oh, it's a fantastic finish of Drewster, and they've tried from the start.
Ambitious, very ambitious.
Easily taken by Wilson as South Hobart play out from the back, but Hickey cuts it off to Hoy. Plays out to the left and
denied by the offside flag.
Offside. The linesman's raised a flag, and South Hobart looked to be under the pump there a little bit after just conceding. I mean, the time that you're most likely to concede is just after you've scored, Drewster.
So they say. I'm not 100% on that one, but, it's the old
most
cliche.
Annoying time to concede, that's for sure.
Well, I'll give you that. It is absolutely the most frustrating time to be conceding. I'm not sure it really does happen as often as the cliche would claim it does, but anyway, South Hobart on the ball here, and Brown plays it back to Quayle. That's going to go over the line and be an Olympia throw. They had started this half in quite a lively fashion, so a bit of a sucker punch there from South Hobart as Van der May again just hoofs it forward. Lewis calls Quayle out and heads it in the middle for Brown, who's been dominant in midfield so far tonight. Here's Freddie Hess, lays it back for Morton. He's got 2. Lazinski somehow got in front of Hickey to play the pass there, but couldn't quite combine with Freddie Hess. He's been doing just a mountain of work up top tonight. Big Albie Lazinski relishing the lone striker role so far. Certainly much more responsibility for him this season. He brings it down, plays it to the Morthog Morton. Now Darcy Hall looks to whip one in. No one's at the back post though, and it'll just roll over by the line for a throw in. As I thought maybe a substitute might have been in the offing there for Olympia, but nothing doing. Certainly McNeil with plenty to ponder with a 3-1 deficit. His side staring down the barrel of. This one is launched long and out of play. And that was more like what we saw in the first half from the Warriors. Just rather hopeful long balls, which doesn't really play to the strength of their side, as Brown flicks one, but it floats over the head of Lazinski, who wants Darcy Hill to press, but just looking a little bit tired there. He'll just sit back, and that's why I'm a little bit surprised Olympia have tried to play down this flank here. They had a bit of space on the opposite side, didn't utilise it. Collard plays all the way back to Paradises, who takes a touch and was pressured. It's a horrible goal kick. Lazinski, he might chip the keeper as well. He's done it! Oh, 4-1, that could be game over. A horror moment for Spiros Paradises. There's been miscommunications and misplaced passes out from the back all night for Olympia. It's plagued them, and they're staring down the barrel of a thumping defeat now. Albie Lazinski given an absolute gift. Paradises caught in no man's land. Another chip over the top. 4-1. Is that game over, Jacob?
Well, yes. I think South has certainly done enough now. There's still half hour to play, and I think I called it was game over, and Kimbra came back and made it 2-2 and took it to extra time in the Summer Cup final. So technically there is still more that can be done as Hoy comes through, but the challenge is on, and South attempt to clear all the way out to Warren Wadawu, who is on the ball now, and some fleet footwork from him.
The ball's played in, but Hoy made the runners cut out by Lewis. Yeah, look, there's plenty of time left, but for mine Olympia, they don't look like a team capable of scoring 3 goals tonight. They have not been on the same page as each other. They've lacked cohesion, but more to the point, they have been sliced apart the other way. The back four has been an absolute mess. There's been real issues playing out from the back. Paradises hasn't had a great game with his kind of distribution. It's really hurting them, and it's hard to see a way back into this clash as Hall just fouls Lehman there. It'll be another free kick at 4-1, and South Hobart with a real warning to the rest of the competition. I reckon this is. They've been really, I suppose, in some ways disrespected a little bit pre-season. Most people talking about Olympia as the title favourites, and again Paradises' distribution is horrible, and again they are made to pay the price. 5-1 and a hat-trick, if you don't mind, for Nick Morton. Gives a little bit of a dab to the crowd, and it's been a comedy of errors from the back. Paradises again butchering the ball, and again he's chipped. Another gift, and South Hobart can't believe this. I can't believe this.
Well, it's 2 in 2 minutes, and Paradises has his hands on his head. He's still got them covering his face. You've got to feel for a goalkeeper at times like that, but then again, who would be a goalkeeper sometimes? I've got to think you're sometimes at the wrong end, and a mistake is costly.
So you've got to be mad. Well, he's had an absolute nightmare tonight, Paradises. He'd want to have a couple of them back, and 5-1 now remarkably to South Hobart. Nick Morton with a hat-trick. That is stunning stuff. And whilst they've made a number of key signings, I do believe they have a goalkeeper lined up. Wasn't ready to start tonight, but no Sean Lewis, who was such a key man last year, although he was injured for large parts, and Paradises did a very able job as his deputy, but has not been up to the task tonight. He's given it away as they've done again here. Morton's in behind South Hobart. They're really going for the kill, and Darcy Hall's almost in here. He might get a second bite at it. He's too quick for Lehman, who will be a deer in the headlights there as this one's played in. Lazinski lays it off for the overlapping Quayle. Quayle chips it in towards Morton. Paradisus comes out. They don't clear the area. Eventually they will. Down on the ground is Morton, and the referee's going to pull it back eventually. It was an awful collision there in the box, but again, at 6s and 7s at the back, Olympia, they have been scythed apart by this South Hobart side. And they'll have a stoppage here, and Olympia, I tell you what, they could use a stoppage just to regroup, because they are a rather shell-shocked bunch at the moment. They've come in the title favourites. The press have been very generous. I certainly had high expectations, and there's a lot of yelling and finger pointing going out there. They're a little bit bewildered. The crowd is stunned. This was billed as a tight contest, and it has been anything but. They have been absolutely blitzed by South Hobart, who have really stamped themselves perhaps as the team to beat. Certainly it's only the first game of the season. We'll wait and see how some other sides line up, but this is very impressive, Jacob Batt.
Well, it's certainly got me typing away very quickly on the blog here, Drew Star, with these quick array of goals that South have been able to do, really due to Paradisus' errors.
So the stoppage here as Morton gets back to his feet. It was Darcy Hall rather, and Olympia, and it will be Morton coming back on. He's all right. Vandermeer with a back heel to Hickey. Collard, who looks like he's shifted back into defence, so McNeil sending numbers back. Mearns is pushed on into midfield, and Collard looks like he's going to play in defence, which is not a surprise because they've been an absolute shambles at the back, and they've turned it over here. Kemp, Lazinski, Drake up on him, and launch it along, and there is Collard, who, well, has not had a debut night that perhaps was expected. South Hobart, all credit to them. Olympia, as bad as they've been, South Hobart have been decisive. They have taken the chances, and really, but for a couple of goal line clearances, it could have been a thumping score at half-time, but a couple of errors they've capitalised on here in the second half. They're really twisting the knife, and that's a lovely ball. A chance to pull one back, and they do just that. So in the blink of an eye, Olympia get a goal. It's Nick Mearns, I think, the goal scorer. He's been pushed on into midfield. He's made a ghosting little one. A tidy finish that, but it's a long way back from 5-1 as we have a look at the replay. Beautiful little chip ball. The defence not all on the same page. I think it's Quayle who didn't step up there. And it's Nick Mearns with a very tidy finish. So the first step back, but it's a long journey back if there are any chance. 5-2, so perhaps half of a lifeline for Olympia, but it will certainly be a hell of a comeback if they can pull this off, as that one is contested fiercely in the air between Sharuma, plays it back. Collard, as we've mentioned, back into defence, and that's paid immediate dividends, getting Mearns into midfield. I'm not sure the experiment with him into defence has really worked. As good as Collard is on the ball, perhaps he's going to need to play in defence if they're going to be as vulnerable as they have been tonight. Here's Drake. Vandermeer looks to switch the play. Gavin Hoy. And he turns inside. And this is some nice play, and is it a foul on the edge of the area? It's not. He won the ball. Mearns going down. To be fair, didn't protest for the free kick at all. It was well won. And there's Olympia just looking to put a little bit of pressure. If, and it's a big if, they could get a goal again in the next few minutes, it might just see a few doubts creep into the mind of South Hobart as a very wasteful ball is played forward. But you got to say, it would be one of the most remarkable comebacks you'd ever see if Olympia were to get something out of this. Here's Kemp just hacking it forward. Paradisus should be able to sweep this one up. You can bet they're going to be pressing him after the way he's distributed the ball in the second half. He will go the big football kick and get it as far away as possible this time onto the head of Hoy. It came off Quayle, and it's now allowed the Canadian just to sneak in behind. He cuts inside, looks for Borbor Sam, but his pass was off, and the Morthog will take it away. Lazinski feeds it through for Darcy Hall. He's one-on-one here. And getting back well was Collard. Vandermeer was happy for the assistance as Lehman looks to get forward. Plays it in for Borbor Sam. Immediately corralled and well won by Dogger Brown. Did it nicely, and it's a beautiful ball over the top. Making the run was Freddie Hess. Couldn't quite pick him out. South Hobart just reminding them how vulnerable they've looked at the back with a nice little diagonal ball over the top. Vandermeer will play it back to Paradisus. South Hobart, I think, will be happy for him to be forced to distribute the ball. Here is Hoy, a little bit of handball there to control it, and spotted by the referee, and an easy one for him there. South Hobart will take the free kick.
Oh yes, the Drewster, I'm back from social media and blog land after that fast goal spree that we had in the second half there across the last 5 minutes. Lewis here stepping up to take the free kick at the halfway line.
Chips it on the head of Big Al.
Oh, that's a fantastic header!
6-2!
Oh, a header from the top of the 18-yard box. The power that he got on that.
Oh,
the
my word.
head of Alfie scored.
He's been chipped again. Big Alfie Lazinski doing it with the head now. 6-2, first set, South Hobart. And
I love this.
blood.
A strong header from the centre forward, the big number 9.
He is, but again, the keeper's just caught no man's land
Well,
there.
where is he standing? He's standing in front of the 6-yard box. I don't know. I'm not a goalkeeper. I probably shouldn't be the one saying where a goalkeeper should be standing, Drewster.
Oh, look, he's been lobbed again. This time with the head of Big Alfie Lazinski. He probably wasn't expecting it. You're not really expecting the big header to be flicked goalwards, but very nice work from the big bold dome of Alfie Lazinski. He's been an absolute monster up top tonight. And monstered is what Olympia have been.
What a head, what a goal.
So Hickey will launch this one along. It's a beautiful pass and finds Gavin Hoy. Gavin Hoy turns and does nicely, but he's come from an offside position. He wonders how that was the case. He was robbed of a beautiful goal on Monday from a similar type run where he tracked back in, but there's going to be a substitution. It looks like Farquhar is going to come on for Mearns, so a centre-back coming on. No real surprise there, Nick Mearns. So Mearns, he scored the goal, but he's had a pretty dirty day at the back. Certainly one of their players of the year last year. I thought was one of the most underrated players in the competition. He hasn't had a great night in defence. None of the Olympia back four has. A redeeming goal for him. But Farquhar comes on, and I would not be surprised if Farquhar was a man starting as of next week at the heart of defence.
Well, I was about to say, is the best place for Nick Mearns in the heart of the defence?
Maybe not. Certainly a very versatile player, maybe a victim of his own versatility in that he had such a good year there that, you know, he's been shifted. He's capable of right back, we're told, and it'll be interesting. Hickey in the team, he's robbed of the ball here. I mean, he's obviously going to have one of those midfield spots, and I suppose McNeil really wants to get such a star player and Collard on the ball a bit more, but I'm not sure that approach is necessarily one that might be repeated in future, as Waddell looks to play it in for the overlapping Lehman, but Lewis comfortably dealing with that. He's got another problem here and puts it out of play, and was shortly fouled afterwards, I thought there, Lewis. He got a fair kick from Lehman, but the referee says no, so we have a look at the replay, and a bit of afters there. I would have thought that would be called, but not the case. So yeah, Olympia, whilst they've bolstered the squad, they've certainly been a bit unbalanced tonight, and it'll be interesting how they adjust in future weeks. Mearns, for me, more of a natural midfielder. I think he's one of the best midfielders in the competition. That's a clear handball against Ball Sam there. And the free kick will go South Hobart's way, 6-2. Well, we expected goals heading into this contest, but I don't think anyone here expected this. It has been an absolute shellacking. And stunned silence over most of the Olympia faithful who came here tonight with high expectations. They were certainly all the talk of the town heading into this one after their big money signings. But they've been well and truly put in their place tonight as Freddie Hess loses out there to Hoy. Doesn't really have the service tonight, and that's going to set his compatriot Drake a bit of a task. He's got to go back and gather it. Here's Farquhar. And it looks like, I'm not sure if Collard's playing defensive midfield or whether they've shifted to a back five with him playing defence. I think he was just dropping back to receive. Here's Farquhar again. He looks to get forward, and that's a nice pass to Wadawu, but he's surrounded again by South Hobart shirts. You cannot fault their work rate. They've been absolutely tireless. Brown, Kemp, Morton in midfield. The wingers have tracked back hard. They've dominated as Wadawu sees it bounce off his head, and he gathers and plays a nice pass. It's going to be dragged back for a foul on Wadawu there. It's a little bit of afters as we tick to the 70-minute mark as Grant Brown goes down holding his face. Not entirely sure what happened there behind the play. I think the wily Brown just happy to eat a little bit more time off the clock as we tick towards 70 minutes with a 6-2 lead. The game well and truly in their keeping. Gavin Hoy standing over the ball. It's Hoy. His ball is a bit shallow and Lewis will head clear. Hall almost played it through, and again the passing just off. Well, they were off. They were well and truly off to the races the other way. They had a little 3-on-3 matchup. And in favour of them the way it's gone down tonight. Here's Hickey, who's been somewhat overwhelmed in midfield tonight. The tenacity of which South Hobart have pressed has really overmatched this Olympia midfield and back four. Here's Wadawu, who looks to turn centrally, but reading it well was Ludford, and that's a foul and a slice of cheese for Collard. Fair to say, Toya Brown wasn't pleased with that, and his little shove afterwards sees him also issued with a slice of cheese. So, just dishing him out there is Kim. And Olympia, well, it's hard to see what they're going to take away from tonight. A very late foul, that one. Easy decision. Took a fair bit of the man, Kobe Kemp, who's played a pretty impressive game in the heart of South Hobart's midfield. Ludford standing over the ball, still sending a few forward. South Hobart, they've got the foot to the throat, and they are absolutely not letting up. As we touched on the first half, there is not a lot of love lost between these two teams, and you can be assured that South Hobart will want to absolutely bury them here. Here's Borbor, who turns. A little bit of space, which has been a rare thing for him tonight. He's got some room out here, and it's a raking pass that picks him out beautifully. Looks to get in on the right. Kemp was shadowing him nicely. Well done, Kobe Kemp. Worked back, denied the space, and every time the Olympia wingers or attackers have looked to cut back in, there's been a South Hobart shirt blocking them off. Now on the counter, it's Lazinski. Lovely ball to Freddie Hess. 2-on-2 now. Freddie Hess running at Vandermeer. It's Freddie Hess. Looks to take him on. His touch was heavy. And Paradisus is there to collect. It's again really poor distribution from the keeper though. And slightly optimistic was that ball from Kobe Kemp. As this one is played back to the keeper, Wilson launches it long. This will fall for Lazinski, who wins another header. Sliding tackle from Hess. He's won the ball from Farquhar, but Collard, who's looked pretty assured in defence, covers that one as Kim just coming across to consult with his linesman over something. There was a bit of a sliding challenge that perhaps they're discussing. Didn't think there was anything too bad in it though. Didn't seem to collect much of the man. As we're seeing another sub warming up, looks like Alex Walter is going to come on for South Hobart. Interesting to see who he comes on for. Maybe the Morthog, Nick Morton, who's done his job well and truly with a hat-trick tonight. Will he rest his key players, as after consultation it looks like Collard is going to go in the book. I think it's Collard. It was rather vague who he's waving the cheese at for the sliding challenge that didn't seem to connect. It was very late moments earlier, as the substitution will now be made. And it's going to be Alfred Freddie Hess coming off Alex Walker. He's put in a very solid shift tonight, Jacob.
Oh, he's been fantastic, Hess. Interested to see how Walter goes here. You know, the game's over. A little bit less than 20 minutes to go. It'll be interesting, but yeah, Hess, fantastic work there. Unfortunate not to get on the end of a couple. He was just shy. The ball just got away from him, but yeah, fantastic. 75 minutes from him.
Yeah, is tipped as a player to watch as a big improver for South Hobart, and after a really good pre-season, has nailed down that spot in the team, and another good shift from him tonight. And Alex Walter, he's got to show what he can do in these 15 minutes, because from all evidence tonight, this is going to be a very tough first 11 to crack. They certainly won't be making any changes next week, you wouldn't have thought, as this one is played into Shuruma.
Hess is in their best 11, so that's for sure.
No doubt. I think the 11 out there, Jack Turner, he's big signing, but geez, who are you going to drop to accommodate him?
It's a good challenge that...
As Morton goes from range, he's a man brimming with confidence, but that one...
Oh, he's not happy with 3, he wants 4, so... The positioning of Paradisus, especially in the last goal, I guess he thought, hey, let's have a crack from distance.
Well, shoot on sight policy at the moment, I think. But yeah, Jack Turner, it's a tough one. Brown has been outstanding. Kemp obviously is cemented in that team, and certainly the Morthog Morton has played that number 10 role beautifully. So certainly a real selection dilemma for Ken Morton in future. A very nice one to have, but someone's going to be very stiff if they're dropped for Turner, and he might find it tough to work his way back into that team after his red card last week. Is Lazinski again pressing? Will he get on the end of this? He almost does, but Paradisus is out to collect, and this time getting there first. 75 minutes of tick by. 6-2 South Hobart. I don't think many saw this coming. It's been a real signal to the rest of the competition. They may have been dethroned last year, but they are well and truly back with a vengeance, South Hobart. And probably, despite Olympia's big spending, South Hobart the team to beat this year now.
Well, sometimes money doesn't talk. Money, doesn't always buy you success.
Indeed, as this one's played back, and Wilson slices a clearance. Good pressure there. A bit of miscommunication between Quayle and Wilson there, and it'll lead to a throw-in. Is the rain just starting to come down here at last? Just here at KG5, just to make it a little bit colder. It's staved off for most of the night, but it's starting to pour down a little bit now as we play out the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's actually been quite a nice evening here, but obviously we're going to be a little bit wet out there for the last 15, but I'm sure the players will keep their feet and won't do anything too silly. Surely not. It's game over here. You don't want to be getting a second yellow or a straight red.
As it looks like Joel Samlet's about to come on. There's another chance for South Hobart. Alex Walter off the bench, and can he get there before Paradisus? Not quite. He's touch a fraction heavy. That was a good chance there. A slightly lighter touch, and you'd have backed him around the keeper and score there. Again, as it has been the case all night, the pace of these South Hobart forwards just wreaking havoc upon the Olympia backline. They've got him behind time and time again. It's got to be a real area of concern. I'm sure opposition coaches are taking note.
Well, Salmon looks, as you were saying, looks to nearly be coming on. Who do you reckon they're going to take off? I really don't think Sharuma's done much at all.
Yeah, it's him and Borbor have lacked the influence they would have liked, so I'd imagine maybe one of the guys on a yellow card, maybe Borbor not much to be gained out there in the last 15 minutes. You can only really see another yellow for someone. That's about it. So maybe ball coming off for Summit would be my guess, but we'll wait and see.
And how do you reckon Glenn's going to be thinking about how the Imports have played today? I mean, I think they've been quite ordinary, to be honest.
Yeah, look, a lack of cohesion, I suppose.
Or has South made them ordinary?
South have made them ordinary. They've been fantastic. Take nothing away from this performance from South Hobart. They've been outstanding. As we see the sub, and it's just going to be like for like, it would seem. It's going to be Lehman coming off for Summit, so left back for left back. That was the change that was made to their Monday team. But look, the Imports haven't had the impact they would have liked, but I'm sure McNeil won't be at panic stations yet. It's the first game in a very long season. There's plenty of time for them to get used to playing with each other. There are plenty of points to be won.
Zebras were top of the table after 3 rounds, and they beat Olympia and South last year. So we saw what happened after that. They didn't make the top 2. So
it's a marathon, not a sprint, as they say. So I don't think they'll be panicking yet, but South Hobart will be brimming with confidence, and certainly they'll want to get their act together and play slightly more cohesive football in the not too distant future. They don't want to drop too many points early on, but look, at the end of the day, they'll meet another couple of times this year, and it's a very tough league this year. They've got Devonport are going to be a real handful. That's going to be a road trip no one wants.
I think Devonport are going to be extremely good this year. I think with who they've been able to get back and who they've been able to recruit, the 2 boys from Canada, it's going to be an interesting team. It's the biggest road trip there and in the state, and it's going to be a bit of a fortress, or as I like to say, the portress, I believe, Drewster.
The portress will be in vogue this year, so they'll be dangerous. The Zebras, I think, are a stronger side than they were last year. I think Launceston City looked quite sharp as Collard looks to drive one from range and is collected afterwards.
Yep, good pick up by Kim.
There won't be a second slice of cheese for Brown. The Olympia players would like to see it, but yeah, as I was saying, it's a very tough competition this year. There are lots of teams that are going to be able to take points off you. So certainly, whilst this is a brilliant start for South Hobart, certain that Ken won't be getting too carried away after one game, and Olympia won't be seeding their title hopes just yet. I wouldn't have thought.
No, it's only the first game. The Imports are going to have to gel, and how many rounds do you reckon that will take before we really see the Olympia and the Imports play the way that the Warriors want them to play? Yes. 3, 4 rounds?
Oh, well, it's hard to know. You'd think after a few games together they'd only get better and better. But certainly they'll want to get their act together within the next couple of weeks, and at least show improvement. They might not hit the heights perhaps predicted for a little while. Collard has a chance and drives it straight into the wall. Drake will get the rebound. As this one's chipped to the back post, Wilson comes out and punches. It's not convincing though, and the substitute Samet looks to lob one in. Oh, a lovely goal from the substitute Samet. He chipped it, the man on the line couldn't quite get the clearance, and 6-3, a 9th goal of the evening. We predicted goals. Well, there's been plenty of chips. It wasn't convincing from Wilson, and Samet with a perfectly placed ball. And despite the best efforts on the line there of a couple of South Hobart defenders, they can't keep it out. And 6-3 now the score with 10 minutes left to play.
Well, Drewster, it's the night of the lob.
Yeah, I've never seen so many chip goals in a single game. It's been truly remarkable. I think so, 4 or 5 now. It's been probably more than that. They've been really paradises getting chipped all night long, and now the substitute Samet just returning the favour. Lovely goal, and perhaps just saying, well, maybe you should have picked me from the start.
Perhaps he's only been on the park for a minute.
As South Hobart forged forward again. That's a lovely ball from Lazinski. Oh, no, it wasn't, but he's been great tonight, Big Albie. His flick-ons and hold-up play has been everything you'd want from a big centre forward. South Hobart perhaps will be a little bit concerned that they've leaked 3 goals, and whilst we been quite critical of Olympia, and fairly, I must say, they have scored 3 goals. So that shows the real attacking threat they've got. They've just got to sort it out at the other end, I think.
I was going to say, the problem is they've conceded 6, Drewster.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. The imports are the more attacking players, though, so...
Yeah, well, the back four is it's vulnerable there for Olympia. You know, Van der Meij's solid there, but apart from that, they struggled.
I think Drake will get better and better. He'll be all right, but certainly left back's been problematic, and Mearns didn't have a great one, and Paradis has had a bit of a mare in goals as Hall forges forward, and well, this has been the flavour of the night. A little chip shot attempted, but this one floats well and truly wide from Liam Quayle. But you'd imagine that there's plenty of improvement. I am reliably informed that they have got a goalkeeper signed up and on the way, and another import, which will solidify that spot, you think. And it'll be interesting to see what they do with that second centre-back spot. Collard, obviously, they'd love to have him in midfield, but I'm not sure for team balance whether that's the right option, but that is for Glenn McNeil to figure out, and that's why he is one of the best coaches in the state, and I'm sure he will have an answer for it, as Ball Baller, who's had a disappointing night, looks to cut inside and does well in the end. Beat his man and goes down, but can't win the goal kick. It's been a pretty tough night for the star man, Ball Baller Sam. Not a night he'll be too keen to remember, as Wilson lobs it forward. Flicked on in the direction of Alex Walker. Drake shields him from the ball and will pass it back to Paradisus, who gathers and lobs it long. So, of course, a massive day of PS4 NPL Tasmania action coming up tomorrow. We've got a triple header here at KG5. Some really exciting action to launch this season, and some exciting games coming up tomorrow. We'll be bringing them all to you.
Yes, the Slice of Cheese team will be here all day. We're ready for a big 6 hours of football, and if you're down south, come along. If not, you can follow the blogs live for the first 2 games, and then I think we've got a stream running, a live stream for the final match, Zebras v Northern Rangers.
Zebras Rangers will be streamed. You'll be able to hear our wonderful dulcet tones again coming at you, and of course the 2 games that come before that. A first look at the big league for Clarence United. They're the new team this year. They'll be playing Devonport, who I suppose in many ways have been that trendy pre-season hype team that everyone's picked as the dark horse. So in my opinion, can't be considered a dark horse anymore because everyone's saying that.
No, well, I was lucky enough to be at the Lacquer Cup match where Devonport were far too strong, and they were quick, they were fit. Savs really got them running up and running. The fitness level was crazy. It was an extremely hot day. I was sweating just sitting in the stands watching it, to be honest. So I don't know how they coped, to be honest.
Yep, so they'll take on the new boys Clarence. So a tough first task for them, and they'll certainly be keen to make a good impression. And the other game sees the Kingborough Lions taking on Launceston City. 2 teams that wasn't a lot between them last year, and certainly a real chance to make a statement for both of them early on. Both have bolstered their squads with some new signings. And
yeah, look, I think City will be too strong there. I wasn't impressed with the way that Kingborough were playing it. They were just hitting long ball after long ball, and they weren't trying to actually pass and move, which is the way I think we need to be playing football, where there was nearly another mistake at the back.
Trouble again.
Nearly another mistake.
Playing out from the back has been absolutely appalling tonight, Olympia. South Hobart, well, they have absolutely capitalised. They'll have another corner here. Sting largely gone out of this one at 6-3. They raced away to a decisive lead early in the half, and they have not looked back. They wouldn't mind a 7th though, as we mentioned. They are pretty keen to bury their opposition here tonight. They take the corner short, and a chance to play it in near post. Will it find its way through to Brown? Not quite, and it's hacked out of there in the end.
I must say, I was impressed with...
that's a clear foul. That's a slice of cheese, I'd have thought.
Yep, there comes out the yellow. A little bit silly. It's 88th minute mark. Yeah, 5 yellows and you miss a game in the season, I believe, Drewster.
Yeah, clearly wanted to protect the 6-3 lead there, Alex Walter. Look, I think in most circumstances you'd say you might as well just cop the yellow there, but with a 6-3 lead later on in the piece, maybe not. But I don't think Alex Walter's a player who's going to get that many bookings, so I can probably understand that one, the little shove in the back.
Yes.
Well, not little, quite blatant really, and the referee able to call that one.
What I was getting to before, Drewster, was about Cartwright for Kingborough Lions. I quite like the English signing that they've got there. He's a good pickup for them and what they needed with losing Turner.
Yeah, obviously a big loss to overcome, and you'll be able to follow all that tomorrow as Ball Sam looks to make something happen. He cuts inside and hits the deck and wins the free kick. Again, just a little bit of trickery there, and
I think we'll be seeing a lot of that this year. We'll be seeing a lot of this kind of play this year.
Real flair player, isn't he? Too quick there. Morton sticks the foot in and trips him up. So, as much as they've struggled, they've still created plenty of scoring chances, and they've taken a few. And if they get a little bit of improvement from Ball, you know they're going to be tough for defences to keep out. And Ball himself, having earned it, says, I'll stand over this one and whip something in. They send the tall timber forward as we tick towards stoppage time. Ball with an absolutely awful free kick that sprays high and wide and sums up his night, really. It's not been one to remember. We know he's going to be an absolute factor this season. He's exciting, but hasn't had the impact he would have liked tonight, Ball Sam. As Big Albie Lazinski wanders off, he's put in a fantastic shift tonight. And a roundly applause. So, a little bit of hammer time, stoppage time being renamed hammer time here. He's not got long to make an impact, but look, I'd say 3 minutes is enough for him to score a goal or get a red card, you know, one or the other. We love what he brings to the table. Benny Hamlet, you can be sure he'll give us a fiery few minutes and run his guts out, and he'll give chase here. He's one-on-one with Vandermeer. Paradisus comes out and just whacks that one into the stand. No, I imagine there'll be a few minutes of added time, purely through the sheer weight of goals that have been scored. There have been 6 in total in this second half.
Yeah, we could even see 5 minutes maybe.
Yeah, well, it's, what is it, normally 30 seconds a goal, plus then you've got other stoppages, so you'd have to think at least 4.
Yeah, there's been a few yellow cards.
There has indeed. Time enough for South Hobart to get another one, as Darcy Hall tries to win a corner, but it just evades him, and it'll be a goal kick. Still plenty of yelling and pointing going on there. South Hobart keen to kill this one off, not concede again. They're going to be the happier of 2 teams. They've sent a real signal to the rest of the comp tonight as Ball miscontrols there and gets a little bit of the Bronx from the South Hobart fans looking to give it back. Certainly, it's been a fiery kind of night between fans and players of both sides. There's been a lot of passion on display at KG5, which is what we love as the Mortog Morton tries to chase this one down, but can't. Just a lazy hat-trick for him tonight on his return to Tasmanian football. Not a bad return for him.
No, he's a star. He's quality, and he's up for the header here and out for the throw-in.
Samet goes back, and as we said, Hamlet is going to try and make an impact. He chases that one down, but Olympia eventually able to play their way out of trouble. Onto the chest of Hoy, who controls well. He's had a tough night tonight, Gavin Hoy. Hasn't had a lot of support as the centre forward, and he's not really the physical type who's going to win too many balls in the air. That's a nice ball from Ball. Brilliantly read, though. Well done, Quayle. Got across there. It was well defended. As we tick into the 93rd minute of this contest.
Yeah, not long to go now, and really South has put a message out to the rest of the competition.
Yep, they'll be the happier 2 teams as we see a few rival coaches in attendance tonight. Alan Jablonski of Clarence United, and I saw Chris Hay here earlier, so a few of the rivals
having
having a little bit of a look.
Having a little look, and we understand Devonport are up on the northwest coast, joined together watching tonight as well. So
tuning in,
they're all interested.
Well, no doubt, and they've seen a pretty impressive showing from South Hobart, and certainly, you know, they were gifted a few of those goals by Olympia, mind you. They absolutely took advantage, but
they've still been the better team.
Oh, no doubt. First half in particular, when it was really to play for, I was super impressed with what they offered.
Yeah. So really, you look at 6-3, probably 4-3. But even if it was 4-3, it wouldn't. It doesn't really demonstrate the way that South have really dominated this match, Drewster.
Yeah, had a couple cleared off the line in the first half. They've been in control from start to finish, really. They equalised to get it back at 1-1, did Olympia, with a Van der May header, which was completely against the run of play. When Morton and I think it was Darcy Hall combined down their right-hand side, and that real weak link in the back, link you thought tonight, the gap between Mearns and Lehman was exposed a few times. And that made it 2-1, and from there they did not look back. They surged away with it, South Hobart, in a very impressive showing. As the referee has a look at his watch, he can't be far away from the final whistle here. One last attack for South Hobart. It's headed clear by Hickey, and then Farquhar just launches it out of there. One by Lewis down to Ball, who's got a little nudge there. Samet plays it down the line. Here's Hoy, only had a consolation goal. Lewis tracking him all to the back post, where Sharuma, who's been fairly well shut out of this one tonight, Lawrence Sharuma, certainly be looking for a bigger impact from him in future. The throw in targets Wadawa, and it rolls behind for, well, I thought it was going to be a goal kick, but in the end it'll be a corner, which mystifies a few of the South Hobart defenders. This might just be the last attacking moment of the game, and they get that fourth goal, and you never know, I suppose. Goal difference could come down to it a bit early to be talking about that, though, as the header goes harmlessly wide. And it will remain 6-3 South Hobart on a very entertaining night here at KG5. It was billed as an absolute blockbuster to start the season. We have not been disappointed. We've had 9 goals with some beautiful attacking play, some horrible defensive moments, albeit. But South Hobart have absolutely reasserted themselves, perhaps as the team to beat. A 6-3 victory, a decisive blow early in the season. Olympia with plenty of time to recover, but psychologically more than anything, a massive result here for South Hobart tonight, Jacob.
Yes, yeah, certainly is, Drewster, and the roar went up through the stands. Not as big a roar as if Olympia had have won, but nonetheless, the South Hobart faithful are happy, as is Ken Morton and the troops out there on the park. They really controlled the game from start to finish. Olympia probably started the first 5 minutes in good fashion, and really from there, South Hobart had all the play, and they well and truly deserved the win.
Indeed. Well, it's been Andrew Cooling and Jacob Batt bringing this game to you from KG5. We'll be back tomorrow to bring you a live stream of the showdown between Zebras and Rangers. You can follow the live blogs of the 2 earlier games before that on Super Saturday out here at KG5. A triple header. Be sure to tune in. Bye for now.
See you later.
Probably just there.
Just there. We all good?
Just coming quite clean.
Yeah. Let me know when we're on.
I just think you need that.
We on yet?
Right, go.
Nick, very good win on the opening night. 6-3. I don't reckon even you guys would have imagined that.
No, we didn't expect that, but you know, we didn't think we were favourites tonight, and we wanted to put on a performance and show that we're still a top team.
Good summer cup form, good pre-season form. A lot of people had you pegged as the team to beat. Obviously some late signs to change that. Was tonight a bit of a statement that you are the team to beat?
Yeah, definitely. We wanted to prove a point. I mean, we played some big games in pre-season that got us prepared for these matches, so you know, we've got the right way around about our business tonight, and I think we've done quite well.
Good start to the league campaign. Obviously, the 5 burns for the boys last year after not taking on the Chocolates.
Yeah, bit of disappointment last year, really. I mean, they were so close, but away at Rangers and they just lost it. And then, I mean, tonight we put in a fantastic performance and we've come home well.
Your own performance, of course, back to South Hobart after a year away in Melbourne. Obviously, you had a very good night with a hat-trick.
Yeah, look, I mean, I've just got to keep on building and keep building myself and keep looking for improvement, really. If I want to go to the next stage, you know, it's down to myself and I need to keep working hard and keep producing the chocolates, really.
Well done, Nick.
Cheers, thank you.
Thanks, mate.
I didn't recognise it was you.
Yeah, it's me. It's me. All right. Yeah, good.
How's the boy going?
Yeah, no, good. We played. Hey? A nice loud voice, away you go.
One of your major challenges out of the way, Ken?
Well, not out of the way, but it's certainly a big start for us. You know, the 3 goals we conceded were from set plays and we had a couple kicked off the line as well, so I thought we were quite emphatic tonight.
talk us through the match. What were your highlights, and where do you think it went right for you tonight?
Well, I think it probably went right because we stopped their service. They were knocking a lot of long balls up to Bobo, and they were straight balls to them rather than diagonal balls most of the time. And I think, is it Jack Callan in midfield, he didn't get on the ball and spread it around as normal. So perhaps we stopped their supply line and we were able to get runs in behind them as well. You know, we got in behind the full-backs and centre-backs. And obviously in the second half we got a couple of goals from high press, pressing the keeper, and I think Albie and Nick both scored from good efforts from nicking the ball.
You don't often see a header from that range, do you, Ken?
No, from Albie?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, a great effort, yeah.
20 odd metres.
Yeah, round the edge of the box, and he directed it well and looped over the keeper. It was terrific stuff. Yeah.
You back next week?
Was that your game plan tonight to really have that high press and to shut down their imports that they didn't seem to have the impact that everyone thought they would?
Yeah, you're quite right. That's what we wanted to do, press them very high, get pressure on the back four. If we could stop Callard and Shrum, whatever they call the number 11 in midfield, if we could stop them getting on the ball, and the service was gone, the linkage had gone into Bobo, so we were quite happy with the work rate. Kobe, Nick, Daniel in there were superb tonight.
You put Brownie in the midfield to man mark, Ken?
Not to man mark, I wanted a man mark space to fill up that space a little bit, and I watched Shrummy against Tarun, and he did a lot of work across the pitch rather than going in behind, so it was just a matter of trying to get him in a position to pick off the ball.
There's been a lot of buzz about Olympia. Is tonight a bit of a statement from a South Hobart point of view?
I'd like to think it's a statement, but it's 3 points. It's the first game of the season. They'll win a lot of games. They're a good side with good players, and I'm sure they'll bounce back from that. But you know, we put ourselves in a good position now. We've won the first game, and it's against the number one from last year, so it's a great win for us.
And Big Owie relishing the lone striker role, kind of shouldering low, thought he was really good tonight.
Yeah, I did. He's doing a great job. He just changed a little bit the last 2 weeks and gone with a 4-1-4-1 with, as you say, the lone striker and raiding out in midfield, and it worked well for us tonight. He's strong, he holds the ball up well, so he gives us something extra.
Your son's performance, Nick, back in South Hobart colours, and it was like he's never left.
Yeah, not bad, he was all right tonight.
Harsh critic. Hat trick.
Yeah, not bad.
What about your celebration?
Not good.
Thanks, Ken.
Thank you. Thanks, Les.
Thanks, Ken.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Ken.
See you.
Cheers.
Thanks. Hello, John. How are you?
How are you?
Yeah, good. Good tonight, anyway.
Good effort. Another year old.
Oh, Jesus.
Here we go again.
Yep.
Disappointed, Glenn?
I think so. I think embarrassed as well. Very poor performance. South Hobart were very good tonight. They deserved to win, and I think a few of those players need to wake up to themselves.
You gave away some really easy goals too.
Yeah, and that's part of the embarrassing side of things. Look, what can I say? It was just horrible to watch.
I thought Zach played probably the pick of your team.
Yeah, look, there weren't too many outstanding players out there, but Zach is a good player, there's no doubt. And as the season progresses, we'll see more of him and appreciate what he's got. But right now, everyone's hurting, and so they should.
You mentioned a few of the players need to wake up. Is there any in particular, or is it the whole team out there tonight? Or?
Oh, look, I think there's a few players in there with some big egos, and you know, they've been brought down to earth today. So I'm not going to name names and individuals, but certainly they need to really take hold of what's happened tonight.
You said pre-game that you've probably got the best team on paper, but you're not the best team yet. Is that what we just saw?
Oh, I'd say so. Certainly the teamwork of South Hobart was fantastic. Their pressing was good, getting forward, third man running, all very good, and drop back in numbers as well. So Yeah, look, that's how a team should be, and we weren't anywhere near that.
In some respects, it's not the end of the world. It's one game of 21, isn't it? So you can pick up and move on next week.
I'm glad we got the result out of the way today, and not round 21. So, yeah, look, we certainly got to get back to the drawing board on Monday and sort some things out.
Big challenge next week up against Devonport.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds like Devonport. I haven't seen much of them. I'll see them tomorrow, but it sounds like they're going pretty well. So it'll be interesting.
Are we likely to see any personnel changes for that game?
At this stage, well, we have a new keeper. He couldn't play tonight because he's got gastro. So there is a new keeper we have, but apart from that, it'll generally be about the same squad.
How much did you miss your new keeper tonight? I guess it probably wasn't Paradise's best game.
I'm sure he'll want to forget about today. Yeah, look, he's only been here a week and a half, but he looks good. He's played under 20s in Serie B in Italy, and 6'3". He's a big lad. So, look, he looks good. So I think he'll slot in well.
And Mearns in defence, will we see that again, or could we see Farquhar drop in and start?
We'll analyse that over the next week and see how we lead into Devonport.
Commiserations.
Oh well, thanks
Cheers.
guys.
Thanks,
Thank you. Cheers. Thanks.
That was the question.